Hey guys, welcome to your Daily Smash for Thursday, July 4th, 2024.
Happy 4th of July! I gotta find that dress.
Happy Independence Day, everybody. You know what Independence Day commemorates?
Independence Day?
Yes. Can you give me more detail on that? Or would you like me to provide it?
The Declaration of Independence?
Yes! This is the day of the signing of the Declaration of Independence by our founding fathers. I'll read you what I...
In 1776.
Yes, on this day in 1776, the Declaration of Independence was approved by the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, stating the American colonies were no longer under British rule and would become their own country. On this day, the United States of America was born 248 years ago.
Isn't that crazy? Like most of the whole wide world. Like, think of when you go to Rome and you see these, like, you know...
that are thousands of years old.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
And our country is only 248 years.
I mean, there were people here. They were Native Americans, and we kind of took it from them. Sorry, she's almost a third Native American.
I'll scalp you. I'll scalp a bitch.
During the smash, because might help the ratings. Actually, the drama from the last 2 days drove our ratings up, but we're not going to leave it there.
Everyone's like all negative. I'm like,
you know,
we're up like sky high. We made some money the last couple days. Thanks, Michelle Post.
But the thing is, like, we were just defending ourselves. We don't want to beat it down. We don't want to keep talking about it. We're not going to.
I'm done talking about it. I've moved on.
Yes.
Our patron, Amy from Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah.
So don't waste your energy on this tool bag. And I'm like, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right. And
good point.
It's just sucking the air out of me. And my friend Kelly Schultz is in town. I want to go see her. She's with her family. Mm-hmm. I've been best friends with her since I was in third grade. My dad and her dad went to high school together.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know she came to my 60th birthday down in Miami. That was awesome.
We were college roommates. She was in my wedding.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
Yeah, and she's just she's a really good friend, and
good.
I love her mom and dad. They used to call me Eddie Haskell when I was in high school.
Oh, we know why that is. I wanted to share some big news. Kelly and I have earned SUPERHOST again.
For which house?
I think it's for both our houses. I'm not sure how you earn SUPERHOST or why we're SUPERHOST. I think it's based on the number of great reviews we've gotten. But the one house in West Hampton's rented all summer, and then it's scheduled to be sold in October. So we'll be down to one rental property in Palm Desert.
If it doesn't get swooped off by a
hurricane?
By a hurricane.
That's in our news segment, Hurricane Beryl, which is barreling through the islands right now. We do have the Palm Desert home available right now for March and April of 2025.
Is our website up?
Good question. Let me check with our guy. In other news, there was another leak in our house this morning. Our friend Harry, who's staying downstairs, went into the kitchen and discovered this morning a huge wet mess all over the place.
And, I mean, it is a disaster. Now we're going to have humidifiers, it has been a nightmare.
This is the fourth leak from a ceiling where they had to cut through the drywall, dry it out, and then fix the leak, or maybe not necessarily in that order, fix the leak, dry it out, and then patch it. And it's happened, this is now the fourth time.
And the whole kitchen ceiling is going through. He's like, okay. I mean,
carved it all out.
Didn't I just tell my cousin Tony that I was doing my podcast?
You did. I heard you tell him that.
I just told him.
So now we have to deal with another construction site in the kitchen. Thank God we're leaving. It's up to Jolie and your mom to deal with the repairs.
I feel so bad for my mom. Every time she comes over here, something happens.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, my mom doesn't need this bull crap.
She's in her 70s.
Yeah, she doesn't need this. Like, this is like, it's been a nightmare. And so, this is so inconvenient. I mean, it's been a nightmare. Okay?
Yeah.
And they won't work with us on on our rent.
You know, it's funny because
I want somebody to know. I mean, there's got to be renters' rights. There's got to be.
Of course there are, especially in California. And so far it hasn't come to that. But as superhosts, when something goes wrong in one of our homes, I immediately take steps to fix it. And if there's an inconvenience to the tenant, I will give them money back. I will make it right with them because I want to maintain a good relationship with anyone.
Well, that's Airbnb. We're renting long term. I think there's a difference between Superhost and that. But I like Rick said, when you go to McDonald's, or what did you put it?
If you go to a restaurant and you have a problem with your meal, most likely, they're going to take it off the check, right? You get a discount. You get a break. If you go to the store and there's a defect on a piece of clothing, that piece of clothing is marked down because it's defective. If you go buy a car and it's scratched up or there's a missing thing or something, they discount the price of the car. Just like a house. If you have a problem with a house, you're going to buy that house, but you know there are issues with it, you get a credit. It gets taken off the price. So the same rule should apply to a rental. If you're inconvenienced, if you can't use a bathroom for 3 weeks, if your kitchen is a construction site, we've been dealing with these things on a constant basis. We love the house, but we don't love the inconvenience. And I have a hole in my ceiling in my studio where I do my Newsmax show. There have been 2 leaks in there, and that's an inconvenience because I can't be in there working when the guys are in there working. It's like we were going to shoot a Cooking with Kelly for this week's Patreon, and right now we can't shoot it because the guys down there are doing work in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So we deserve to be compensated for this, and we will be. That's all there is to it.
I have a girlfriend, and her husband is not paying half the tuition, and I was thinking, someone told me you are responsible. This is Julie's counselor said you are responsible for your child until they are 26 years old. That's what Julie's. If they're not paying half of their education or half of their thing,
nope.
Is there any recourse? Or if they agreed to you, they agreed, and 2 people heard. Can you go after them in small claims court?
I don't think you can.
Can anybody tell me out there that knows?
I don't think your friend can do anything about it because my understanding, my reading of the law is parental responsibility ends at 18, not 26.
Well, that's not what Julie's counselor said.
Well, look it up online. I mean, everything I've read is that there's no legal recourse if your friend's parent doesn't want to pay for his kid's
And how does that
school.
Friend's parent not even go to their 18th or do anything for their 18th birthday? That just goes to show you what kind of deadbeat, disgusting, vile human being that is.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. I wanted to, I know you guys all know a lot out there, and I just want to ask if they agree, and it's not, but there was a verbal conversation, and 2 other people heard it. Is there any legal recourse, like taking them to small claims court? I want to know if you guys can help me out.
All right, we'll try and find out.
Yeah.
Big plans for July 4th. I'm working for half the day, the earlier half. I think I should be done around 3:30, 4 o'clock. But you have plans with Harry. You're going to parties before then, right?
We're going to Rob's. We're going to go to Peter's.
And that's all happening earlier.
V, my friend V from grade school is coming over. She's staying with us.
Oh, okay.
So she can stay with Jolie. She's like her aunt. And what else?
Well, by the time I get there, you guys are going to be half in the bag, I think.
I don't.
It's going to be hammer time over there on the beach.
You got to pace yourself, kid. I'm pacing myself. I'm not getting like that.
Okay, good.
So.
You should. But the beach goes crazy here on July 4th. Probably where you are too, but over here on the peninsula.
So there was some news that happened. Andrea Canny sent me an article she heard in the Daily Mail. Mm-hmm. There was a 69-year-old woman in Fashion Island, which is, I'm there like every day.
It's right down the street.
Right down
10
the
minutes,
street
15
from my
minutes
house.
from here, yeah.
And it's, Newport Beach is a very Republican, I mean, you feel super safe here. Mm-hmm. Like, you feel safe. Like, you feel like, you know, it's you just feel safe here. And you never think that things are bad are going to happen.
Yeah.
So
it's a bubble.
It's a bubble.
You're in a cocoon over here. except when you're not. And you got 3 thugs who come down from L.A.
From Southgate.
and rob an elderly couple outside.
69-year-old, almost a 70-year-old lady.
Outside the Barnes and Noble.
Which I'm there all the time because I go.
It's right next to Whole
How many
Foods.
times am I there a week?
I had a book event at that Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
We're at Fashion Island 2-3 times a week probably.
Right.
And it's a really awful story. The woman got dragged by these guys in their car and was run over.
And they were with guns up in the air.
She died. They're shooting in the air. And then they take off. And the police gave chase. And they chased them all the way up to L.A. And these guys bail out of their car, probably stolen. But they caught the 3 suspects. And they're being charged, I believe, with murder. Because they killed this woman.
And this is why those thugs should stay in their own area. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to get caught. If you come down here, we don't take kindly to people with petty crimes. Like, you know, and that's the thing that I don't understand. Whatever happened to thou shalt not steal? Whatever happened to the 10 Commandments? How do people not have
That's a very good question.
any kind of remorse, any kind of moral compass? How do people not have that? I mean,
especially in San Francisco, where apparently they're putting up signs that remind people you can shoplift up to $950 worth of stuff without fear of prosecution.
and what do you think is going to happen with that? You end up with a petty crime, then the petty crime becomes a big crime, and it gives these kids a sense of, oh, I can steal up to $1,000, no, nothing's going to happen to me. It's okay.
It's the stupidest policy I've ever heard in my life. You don't say yes to crime. You don't give people a green light to steal things because stores are going to shut down. You're going to lose all retail because
and that's
people
what's
are going
happening downtown San Francisco.
criminals are going to put them out of business.
Right. And then what happens when you have a ghost town like that? Everything suffers. The whole infrastructure suffers.
Yeah.
With loss of jobs, you know, and that's the thing. It's like these thugs are desperate. They're desperate. Obviously, if they're coming all the way over here to rob an elderly couple, like,
maybe they thought it was easy pickings down here. I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. You know, drive 50 miles to rob somebody? Like, why would you do that? Maybe they were already here for something else. They're like, oh, let's go rob somebody while we're here.
wow, no, I don't know. But you know what? You're going to get caught and you're going to get prosecuted. If
Yeah.
you're I mean, they have...
Todd Spitzer doesn't play. He's the DA here in Orange County, and he does not play. He will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. I guarantee you that. I have a hot topic now.
Hot topic.
Our
I can't
good
believe
friend-
I can't believe you pulled this.
Well, I
Because
just
this
happened
wasn't... Zani sent this to me.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Jeana Keough, who we interviewed when we lived over on Port Kimberly.
You met her.
I-
Do you remember the daughter? She lived in Ponte Vedra.
Yes.
She came over.
Yes.
Yeah, and she she had a daughter that
Yeah.
her daughter wanted to have like a natural birth in her home. She had a midwife come,
A tragic story.
and I guess the baby was breech or whatever, and she lost the baby. But if she would have been in a hospital like normal people,
Yeah.
the baby would have been saved.
So sad.
So horrible.
Well, okay, this is a fun story. It's not a sad story. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Jeana Keough posted a picture on Instagram, and her daughter called her out because the filter was so heavy. The picture, this is the filtered photo.
Doesn't that remind you of like when they have Biden and Trump in those little baby pictures, and they have them and they're like, doesn't it remind you of that?
Yeah. So Jeana Keough posts this photo. She's 68.
How smoking hot was she back in the day? This lady was the most unbelievable.
She was a playmate, right?
Yes. I mean, she was in ZZ Top.
She showed her face heavily edited with an app that blurred and softened all her wrinkles, plumped her lips, and gave her bright white teeth and piercing green eyes. She took the selfie
Is that
with
Michelle
amazing...
Post? She's taking Michelle Post's
Yeah.
playbook?
She took it with Amazing Race alum Chip McAllister, 66, whose face also appeared wrinkle-free. He's 66. Okay, so that's the filtered photo. And her daughter wrote, "Take this down now." So this is the actual photo.
Wow. Those filters are amazing. Well, he looks different too, right?
Yeah, he does.
Everyone brings those filter pictures into like Dr. Nicole's office and go, I want to look like this.
Yeah. and people gushed how beautiful she was without the filters. See, we prefer this. Be you, girl. Post whatever you want. Someone said it's your page, but we love the real Jeana.
Well, she's still pretty.
Yeah, love this pic without filters. You look so good. You need to give yourself credit. There's this temptation, I guess, because instead of looking like that, you can look like that, but that's ridiculous. That's not her.
No.
Maybe she did it as a joke.
That's what Michelle Post does, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
she
it
does.
it's like, you don't look like that in real life.
Yeah.
That's like catfishing, right?
Right, it is. It is. You're like, wait, what? That's not you. In the news now.
So funny. In the news.
Hurricane Beryl is threatening the United States of America over July 4th weekend after killing at least 6 in the Caribbean as of the time we're recording this. Could be higher now. It's a Category 4. It's still a very powerful hurricane. And it's moving towards the Yucatan Peninsula and the southern tip of the coast of Texas. I'll show you a map here. That's where it's headed. So Texas is actually in the direct path, potentially, of this hurricane.
What is down there? Is that Galveston?
Galveston is a little bit higher up, but yeah, basically,
Yeah.
Galveston would definitely feel. Let me see what the story says. Even if Beryl changes course, wind, rain, and rip currents are likely to hit the Gulf Coast of Texas. Anyone in or traveling to southern Texas should keep this in mind over the weekend and make preparations, especially those along the coast. It hit Jamaica on Wednesday, with islanders scrambling to prepare for potential devastation. Expected to remain at major hurricane strength as it passes Jamaica near the Cayman Islands and then into Yucatan Peninsula on Friday. But then over the weekend, it just might smack Texas. It should presumably be weaker at that point. Mm-hmm. But get ready for some rough weather if you're down in that region over this upcoming holiday weekend.
Aren't you glad that you don't have to do those anymore?
Yes. They would have sent me down there most likely because I'm in California, one of the closer bureaus, if I was still in LA. And I would be standing, on a sunny beach, talking about how we're battening down the hatches and everyone's getting ready, preparing for the worst but hoping for the best.
Wait, would they send you down there before it would hit there?
Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah. I must have done that 40 times.
No way.
Because you're there to cover the preps. You get people evacuated. And one of the weirdest, craziest experiences I've had repeatedly as a journalist is driving into an area that's about to experience a major event like this while everyone else is leaving. So you're like one of the only idiots going towards the fire. Everyone else is racing away from it. And I say fire as a metaphor. It's a hurricane, and they're telling everyone to get out of town, but we're all going to that town because we want to be in the middle of it.
Wow.
So you get video of people putting boards on their windows, emptying the stores in the grocery and shelves in the grocery store, filling their gas tanks, buying water and supplies. That's the job. And then you stand there on the beach, and it's usually pretty nice before the storm. And then if you're lucky, because you're a journalist and you want to get the worst of it, you get smacked by a hurricane.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also dangerous.
I've been in a typhoon.
You have.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Category 4.
You experienced Mother Nature's fierceness.
Mm-hmm. It was scary.
Yeah, it can be very scary. So best of luck to you folks down in Texas. Thank you guys for supporting the Daily Smash.
Yeah. Push that thumbs up. Push that like. Somebody said they had to resubscribe again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Keep subscribing and resubscribe or subscribe if you haven't yet. And we're going to have a great Rick and Kelly show this week, celebrating the holiday before we head off on our summer vacation next week.
Oh, and we're not going to be able to do smashes because there's not going to be any Wi-Fi on this.
The internet
yacht
is apparently weak on the ship. So we're going to do smashes next week. We are going to do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday smash. And then we're going to be gone for a couple weeks. So I'm not sure if I can put other things up there. I'll see what I can schedule. Maybe some best of episodes to keep you entertained. But in the meantime, again, thank you for being here. And don't forget about our Rick and Kelly show on patreon.com. It's longer.
And I'm doing my salmon.
Kelly salmon, cooking
that
with
I just
Kelly.
made on Monday. I'm doing it again. And we're going out to dinner tonight.
Yeah.
At the Pendry with our friend Tony that runs Celsius. And he was telling us that they lost a lot of money because some guy came out and said that they had, what is it?
Cyanide?
Cyanide in it, and that's not true.
There's a trace of cyanide in B12, and they have B12 in the string. Because some knucklehead was like, oh, well, there's cyanide. And cyanide's in every B12 supplement you take.
Yeah.
Like, relax. It's in the vitamin, and it doesn't hurt you in these tiny, tiny amounts. Whatever. That's.
But it's crazy that social media can kill a business, or it can kill someone's career, or it can kill, a lot of people that put stuff out there that don't know what the heck they're talking about. Misinformation can totally hurt somebody.
That's true.
And I know you guys say, oh, well, rise above it and rise above this.
Well,
but I want to just let you guys know that I had to defend myself against this woman. And it's just the amount and people that live here, the women that live here know who she is. And I just want to thank all the women of Newport Beach that have come out and reached out to me on this.
Supported you.
And supported me. And
backed you up.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to all the women in Newport that backed me up.
Yeah, thanks for supporting my wife. And we hope you have a fantastic 4th of July.
Yeah.
And we'll see you back here. Oh, I don't know if we're going to have a Friday show. We're going to be busy on Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have a show Friday. But we will have a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Okay? Enjoy the holiday, everybody.
Yeah. Have a great holiday, everyone.
We'll see
Bye.
ya.